Okay, let's get started. Thank you, everybody, for joining. First, I'll introduce myself. Hi, my name is Inbar. I am the VP Marketing at AnyWord. I've got about 10 years or so in marketing technology and ad technology under my belt. Um, a couple of, I don't know how to call these appendixes to this. First of all, we are in work from home times. I am broadcasting this from my daughter's bedroom. I'm hoping nothing will fall, break, or crash while we're doing this. The second thing that's important to note is that I'm going to be actually jumping around a little bit from deck to product demo, back to the deck. And so let's hope it's not too embarrassing. Wish me luck. I did practice, so hopefully that will work out. Okay, so let's go over what we're going to do today. So first things first, I'm going to give you a quick overview again of what AnyWord does. I'm going to talk about these great new tools, continuous optimization, custom mode, unlimited words, and as a bonus, I'm actually going to show you our brand new blog project type, which is something that we released literally yesterday. It is a game changer. I love it. And so I will show that to you as well at the end. If you have any questions, you can direct them in the chat. We will be answering them at the end. And I actually have my colleague here, Alex, joining me. Alex, say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Um, Thank you, Alex. So Alex will be moderating and asking questions at the end. So you don't know it's just a disembodied voice. There's Alex, who will be there to answer questions during the webinar. Okay, so let's jump right in. First, a quick thing about AnyWord, right? We've been around for 8 years. We work with some of the world's leading brands, and we also work with gig workers and one-man shows and entrepreneurs. And we also have to work with some big enterprises like Verizon, Equinox, a lot of e-commerce shops like Ted Baker, Moiti Cosmetics. So big and small. But what makes us special is what we do, which is we build AI models for generating high converting marketing copy. What does that really mean? Basically, we have really smart computers that create amazing copy for ads, social media, content, landing pages, blog posts, emails, and on and on and on. We also have some more advanced AI capabilities on top of that, but that is the basis of what we do. And I want to talk a little bit about what's special about what we do. Right? You might have come across text generators in your day to day. We are different and special because we have trained our AI on $250 million worth of ad spend, which means about 2 billion data points. What does that mean? We fed $250 million worth of ad spend, the creatives, the performance data to our AI, and we built our entire model based on that. So that lets us do a couple of things. First thing, of course, is it lets us generate text that is marketing oriented. It's built to perform because it was trained on marketing text. And it also lets us understand what the performance potential of that text is. So at its base, you can give AnyWord a product description, a URL that can scrape the page, just a sentence that you wanted to rewrite, and it will generate a bunch of different copy variations for you. And as a bonus, also score those copy variations based on predictive performance. So that is what we do on a high level. Now let's see if we can take it to the next level, right? So it is great, yes, writing copy for ads and social posts and everything else is really important, and predicting performance is really important, but there is so much more that you can be doing, right? I mean, there's always ways that marketing can be doing more, right? But I think I'm really proud of the really easy kind of solutions that we've put together to help our customers kind of take it to the next level. So let's jump into that. Let's start with a really common problem, right? Optimizing web pages is hard. Duh. preaching to the choir, 10 years in marketing. Yeah, it's hard. Right now, the thing is, you've got like a lot of like these A/B testing tools there. You can build these really sophisticated tests. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. It's good for when you're trying to, test a lot of structure, but what if you just want to know if you've got the right like sentence in the headline, right? That setting up all these complex A/B testing tools, not worth it for that kind of thing, right? E-commerce shops, right? You've got hundreds of products, sometimes thousands of products. How can you optimize those product pages at scale without somebody putting thousands or countless hours into building all these different optimization tools, right? It's a lot of heavy lifting. You need to customize solutions. It is hard. And so we found a way to make it easy. Ta-da! Continuous optimization. So what does continuous optimization mean? Well, it's a feature where all you need to do is just put a snippet on your landing page, just a bit of code, generate AI variations based on the text on your landing page. And then what we do is we dynamically present the right text to the right person at the right time. Eventually, the algorithm continues to learn, and then it will optimize itself to the point where you can get really precise with the text that you display to people that come in. So having said that, now it's time for my first little juggling act. I'm going to escape this window, and I'm going to take you into a real life continuous optimization project. I'm actually going to show you our own continuous optimization project because I can't show you customers, obviously, but hey, I'm a believer in transparency, and so I'm going to show you all of our data on one of our landing pages. Right, we've been running continuous optimization for a really long time. We were actually the first web page to run it ever. So you can see here, this stuff has had some of this stuff has had quite a few views, 17,000 over here, for example. But it's a really simple thing. So I kind of skip the setup phase so that we don't have to go into all the technicalities. But basically, we read your page, we identify the assets, right? And then we can rewrite or create different text variations for each asset and then dynamically serve it. So just so you can get an idea, I'm actually going to pop over to our homepage, right? This is in edit mode. Sorry, this is what you get. You're always a moderator here. But I'm just going to refresh this, and you can kind of see this happening live, right? Take a look at this text, AI copywriting that makes an impact, this text under it, and this button, and you'll see eventually, take the guesswork out of copywriting with the help of AI. Get started now, right? You can see this dynamically changing as I refresh. Of course, it's not looking at my source here because I'm admin, but you get the idea. So this is just dynamically changing the text on the page. So back here, you can see, let's just use the call to action button as an example. So my baseline, the one we started with, was start your trial. Now I'm going to click improve with AI. And what you're seeing here is AI is actually reading all of the assets on the page and reading the call to action button specifically, and it's going to generate a bunch of different options for me that I can then add into my project. Now, you see sometimes, I'm just going to give you full disclosure, you see this spinny wheel, that's our back end, the AI working. Sometimes it's not, it's just the internet because I'm doing a webcast right now, and so it's taking up a bit of bandwidth. Did I not tell you that this is going to be action-packed? Okay, I think this is my bandwidth. So I'll show it to you this way. We improved with AI, we generated variations, which we won't do right now. And then we've got a list of options that we can serve and show, right? So 7-day free trial and start for free. All of these, we can pause them. We can start them again. You can see a couple here that we actually haven't started. We can just hit play and pause, and then it will start collecting data. Now let me show you something cool, right? So you have all of these, and you can run different experiments on it. And then what you got here is a performance. So just to make it, because we've been running for a while, just to make it clear, I'm going to go last 4 weeks just on our landing page alone. And you can see here, so the blue is the baseline text. This is the original text that we've had across this particular page. And the green is the stuff that Anyword has been improving with AI. And you can see consistently, with the exception, sometimes you mess with the traffic a little bit, but basically the entire time, the any word conversion rate has beaten the baseline, to the point right now where we're at a 48% difference, which is huge. Now, I can tell you this seems like crazy, but I can tell you we have our customers reporting really, really similar results, getting differences in CTR on the page is in the high 30s, sometimes in the 40s. And it really does show what a difference some optimized text makes, right? It's super powerful tool. It is really amazing to see, and it's been getting great results for us for the past like several months since we started. Now I'm gonna pop back in. I'm gonna actually go to a different screen here because I want to move to some other projects. So let's go back to our thing. So far, I think I've been good with the juggling with the internet, not so much, but back to it. So let's look at another problem, okay? Achieving high ROI, staying true to your brand voice is hard. First of all, we get this a lot from agencies especially, right? They've got a bunch of different customers, creative guidelines for each of them. Each of them has a unique brand. They need to stick to that brand, to stick to that style. At the same time, obviously, whether you're an agency or not, right? Every bit of copy that you do needs to create ROI at some point, and you really need to balance performance with style. You can get, things tend to get repetitive if you have too many rules in place. Things can underperform because you're so busy trying to stick to the rules of the brand. So we have an answer for that, and it's called custom mode. So custom mode basically what it means is you're training the AI to sound like your brand. So you're adding another level, right? You've got all this knowledge that the AI already has based on past marketing campaigns and all of that $250 million worth of data. But now you can add another layer to let any word stay true to your brand voice. You can do that by either connecting your ad accounts. So we've got Facebook and LinkedIn now. We've got more coming soon. Or you can literally just insert your own examples, and you can use, and that way it'll stay true to your tone. By the way, fun fact, if you want to kind of imitate a competitor, you can do that too. You can take like top performers you're seeing from your competitors and basically put that in the platform, and boom, you've got copy that imitates your competitors. Yeah, if that's what you want to do, there you go. So here we are. I'm moving on to a demo here. And so I'm going to start. What you see here is something I've already created just to save us some time. Let's hope this cooperates. There's a site called What the Dog Likes. I always like using it in demos because it's cute. It's like the subscription box for animal treats. And so you can see here I've already inputted the URL for that, the product name, the AI has written a summary. And so I'm already in a project and I'm in generating primary text for a Facebook ad to promote What the Dog Likes. So just so you can get an idea, I'm actually going to generate something in just our plain creative mode, right? Which is just kind of taking the web page, reading it, understanding what the value propositions are, and creating Facebook primary text for it. And as you can see, ta-da, here's a bunch of different variations that the AI has created that you could use in Facebook ads. Now, look at this. I've already kind of spoken about this, but note these numbers here on the right side, 84, 83, 82. This is the predictive performance score. So this is based on the data that we have. Then I'll show you this. I will hover over it and we have another layer here. So 84, obviously it's on a scale of 1 to 100. That means it's got a decent potential to do well. And you can see here, there's also a demographic breakdown of where we think it'll resonate most. So this, for example, will resonate most with females skewing older, right? So let's say you don't want that demographic, you want something else, right? You can choose the ones that you think would resonate best. And so you've got a bunch of different variations. You can do this in a bunch of different modes. So we're not in custom mode yet. I just want you to get a feel for the product, right? While we're doing this. And here's one I love, which is list mode, right? You can do basically all the product features. It uses emojis. It's really attention grabbing. This is really prevalent in Facebook ads these days, right? So this is the basic copy generation stuff that the AI does. Now let's add the other layer to it, which is custom mode, which is right here. Okay, so I've already pre-populated this, right, with a bunch of different variations. Just to make it kind of fun, I'm gonna add like a couple more emojis, right, because this will kind of be I think it'll help be very specific about the style, and you'll see how much it can kind of imitate. Let's try the best treats ever with a bunch of hearts, right? So really positive and upbeat, lots of emojis. I'm gonna save this now. I'm gonna give it a name. Let's call it emojis, right? And you can see here, it is saved as a mode. Now, if I want, I can add from Facebook, right? I can import here, but I'm doing this manually just so that we can, I don't want to show real performance data from ad campaigns right now. So I wanted to do it manually. Plus I wanted to do something that is kind of really easy to see, right? Upbeat, emojis, happy, and now I'm going to click generate. And what you've got now is the AI is training itself. It's reading this stuff, right? And it's created a bunch of really positive variations, right? Now it's not always going to use emojis for this, but what it does is it takes the tone of it, and you can see it's short and very to the point and very positive. Ta-da, right? And again, scored by performance potential. You can see, for example, here this skews younger, right? Because it's more personal, it's more upbeat, it's more fun, and it's really different than what you got in the original mode, which maybe skewed a little older and what you generated. By the way, if there's something that that you like and you want to kind of play around with more, here's another little cool thing that we can do. You can actually improve with AI, right? You can see the score here. We can actually use demographic filters, female, male, skew younger, older. I won't go into that fully right now because really what we're talking about is custom mode here, but you can see here how it's really taken on the tone that I wrote there, and is positive, short, and perform. Look at this, my dog is my best friend in all caps. Very cool. Okay, so there you have custom mode. Let's go back to my presentation and let's talk a little bit about another cool thing that you can get in Pro, which is unlimited words, right? So obviously, marketing teams need to create a whole lot of content, a whole lot of time. So yeah, our basic starter has about 10,000 words, which will give you 1,500 titles, 250 Facebook ads, 20 landing pages, 10 blogs. You can go higher, you can upgrade, but unlimited words really opens up possibilities for you. And I think the best use for unlimited words is blog post generating, which is something that we very recently released and is super cool. So I'm going to basically give you kind of an overview of the blog post project and then show it to you live. So far, I think the platform's been cooperating pretty well considering this is a live webinar. So let's keep on crossing our fingers that first kind of squiggly line was our only snafu. But of course, now that I'm saying that, there is a chance there'll be another one. But let's hope not. So basically, it's really simple. To form a blog, you just need to tell any word what you want to write. You need to then it will generate a title and then content from scratch. You can customize it. You can kind of add keywords. You can have it complete your sentences, which is super cool. And let me tell you why this is revolutionary. Okay, if you are familiar with AI content writers of the past, literally as far as like this last year, right? When you give AI long form content, it gets lost, right? It can start writing and then it trails off and gets into crazy town. There's been a lot of like New York Post like think pieces about this stuff. But the truth is that AI is basically just a set of parameters that then reads another set of parameters and gives you a result. It's basically just a calculator. Okay, so the trick was to get the AI to work properly to create blog posts is just to give it structure, right? When, like, think of AI as like a 3-year-old. If you just let them run wild for the day, I can tell you from experience, they will run wild and they'll make a mess. But if you give them a schedule and some structure, all of a sudden you can kind of deal with it better, right? So let me show you what that means in terms of blog writing. Okay, so I kind of started this, right? But generally speaking, the way you do it is you just describe the blog post you want to create, and then you just go step by step to create it. So I already wrote this here. We're in dog mode right now, so I wanted to write. I said, let's write a blog post that's about why adopting dogs are better than buying dogs. I'm saying this as a doggy mom with a puppy who is a year old and gigantic and sheds everywhere, who the kids love, right? So I put this very simple 146 character description in. I chose the industry, and that is it, right? I gave it a title, why you should adopt a dog instead of buying one. I already got a score for that title and a demographic breakdown. I can use this title. I can generate more titles if I want, right? And this is going to get generated. Look at that, based on what I already inputted and based on this quick little bit of context that I gave, which is really cool. So actually, this is pretty good. This score is really high, get 6 reasons. So I'm just going to use this because this is the highest scoring. Now, next is an outline. Now, I already generated one that we could show, but you can generate more. And basically what this does is, again, based on the description and then based on the title, here are a bunch of different ways that we can outline this blog. I love this, by the way, as a writer. I don't always use the full block generator because they kind of like to fill up my own stuff, but this outline tool is absolutely amazing. So you can see these are kind of, I would say, it's sections of the blog. I actually really like this one, so I'm just going to use this outline. And there you have it. And then from there, the next step is an intro paragraph, right? And again, here the AI is building off of all of this other stuff we've already given him, all of the foundations, the description, the title, the outline, and then based on that, it creates a bunch of different intro paragraphs. Look at that. So, and it scores them, of course. Some are shorter, some are longer. We're not gonna, I can either take like the 74 if I like it. I think this is great. Look at this. It's like first person. So I'm just actually going to use this intro. And then boom, setup is complete. I've already got my intro paragraph. I've already got my outline. And now I'm continuing to the blog editor. And look at this, guys. So here's our intro paragraph. Here's the title. And you can see these sections, and you can literally, you can do a couple different things. First of all, choose your length. Let's keep it medium and generate, and it will write this section for us, right? Let's hope that it does it relatively quickly in my bandwidth. Oh, there we go. Thank you, internet, for cooperating. So here's a full paragraph. I can go in and I can actually edit this. If I return, let's say I want another paragraph, I can have it generate more. Right? Let's hope it'll, and again, guys, this is building on itself, right? It's reading and relearning based on what's already been generated and selected. So look at how cool this is. Now let's say, okay, all the benefits of adopting a dog. So I'm actually going to do something else here. There are great benefits to adoption. I'm going to say, for one thing, I'm going to stop here. Now, I actually haven't tested this particularly. So I'm going to see if I've managed to challenge the AI properly, and if it's gonna go full on complete my sentences and how long it's going to happen. Oh, look at that. Guys, look at that. How amazing is this? Like, unbelievable. And you can, it's just, you can keep on going. So this one, let's do long. And by the way, you've got the word count right up here, right? And you can copy this text. You can do a bunch of different things with it, and you can just keep on going and keep writing this if you want to do a 1,000-word piece, if you want to do, a 500-word piece. The beauty of this is, if you want, you can adjust it. If you want, you can have it complete your sentences. You can add your own flair to it, but you've got this full blog builder, which I accidentally, oh dear, I told you. It got lost. Look at that, we were so excited, and then boom, my back button made us get lost. So luckily, it was just as we were wrapping up this demo. So good timing, internet gods. It was not too terrible. So basically, you guys can see we've got a bunch of new features. Getting the pro subscription really helps kind of up your game and take full advantage of everything that our AI can do. And I think it's a hugely powerful tool for small marketing teams, big marketing teams, one-man shows, agencies, e-commerce shops, the works. So I'm gonna, first of all, thank you. If you guys want to give Pro a try, if you want a demo, get access to a trial of it, just hit us up on chat with your details, or you can email Barry from my team and just say from the webinar, demo call, and he'll do that. You can also go on the platform and request access. But let's open up for questions. Alex, what have you got?
Hey, so we got a number of questions. Let's go one by one and let's see if we can manage them today. So the question, what CMS does continuous optimization work on? And especially we have question about unbounds. Can it work on unbounds?
Okay, so actually we don't, it doesn't work on unbounds, but it does work on practically everything else. We're also, by the way, creating a Shopify app, which will be available in the next, don't hold me to a timeline, but very, very soon, in the very near future. But generally speaking, practically anything else that requires just that you can stick JavaScript code into, we can work on.
Great. The next question, how does Anywhere know that the score is right?
How does Anywhere know that the score is right? Well, let me tell you, that's a great question, whoever asked it. A couple things. So first of all, like I said, this was trained on real life data, right? So we know CTRs, we know conversion rates of the text that we were trained on. And then obviously the AI magic in the back end can actually calculate that. That being said, we also field test it all the time to make sure it continues to be accurate. And so we are right 76% of the time. Like, that is huge. That's way better than a coin flip, right? You can be very sure that if you choose a higher scoring bit of copy, that you are making the right choice, because we are right almost 80% of the time in field tests, and this has been consistent. We do this a lot, and that's about our that's about how it works.
Cool. Okay, we have a question about iOS 14. It's a hot topic this year, and so the question is, how does iOS 14 changes impact your ability to pick the right headline for right person?
Okay, so basically, this is a really, really good question. What we do generally is just we look at traffic sources, right? We've got, it kind of depends on the integration, and we've got a lot of fixes coming your way. But right now, in the most basic level, right, you can set it up based on UTMs, right? And as long as your site is compliant with all of the new rules, then you should be fine. So it's not actually, there's not actual like by person tracking, right? So I'm not an expert at this by any stretch of the imagination, right? But part of this privacy, all this privacy regulation is that you don't collect info on a specific person. This is different. You're not collecting info on a specific person. You're looking at cohorts. You're looking at much bigger sets of data, right? In the thousands in terms of visits. And so so because you're not, you don't need to look at a specific person's journey, but look at a group of people and classify that group. That's kind of how we go about it. Hopefully that answers the question.
Cool. Okay, we almost running out of the time. So one last question.
Okay.
How can a marketing agency manage different custom modes for different customers? I think it's a great question.
That is a great question. So we've got a bunch of different ways that marketing agencies work with us. Generally speaking, you saw with creating custom modes, you name them, right? So for each mode that you create, you can import a different Facebook ad group. and you can name it differently by brand. We also have some solutions for agencies. Obviously, we can work with multiple seats and multiple brands. Those are for, like, you know, for our bigger customers. We can offer solutions in that way, but in the simplest way, you can literally just name the mode for your customer, and boom, there you have it. Cool. So thank you, Alex, for asking the questions. Thank you, everybody, for your time. You can also reach out to me on LinkedIn or by email, inbar@anyword.com. And like I said, talk to Barry if you want a demo. Thank you so much for your time, everybody. Bye.